focus, the pace of implementation, and the achievement of results that benefits Pakistani people. All of that has accelerated despite the political problems that you mentioned. But those political problems do affect us in a few ways, to be candid with you. One is it creates more uncertainty about our funding. It creates the need felt by our political authorities in Washington, our Congress, to very, very heavily scrutinize everything we do. So it's harder to get decisions made in Washington, but once we do, we move. On the flip side, here in Pakistan, there are also sensitivities here about the relationship as these unfortunate events have taken place over the last couple of years. And what that's resulted in is parts of your authority structure here giving us a harder time, to be honest with you. For instance, harder for us and our project implementers to get visas. Their extensions, some of them have been rejected. People have had to go home. Our access to go to travel around the country to meet people and visit our projects, at times certain of the authorities have restricted our access. And also, very regrettably, at times our staff have suffered from harassment and threats, which is very demotivating and, in my view, is inappropriate, given that we want a mutually respectful relationship.
So I wonder, why would what would be gained by stopping the visas of aid and development experts? I mean, how do they gain anything?
Who's they?
You said the authorities.
Well, you'd have to ask them. I mean, the people we work with in the government, whether it's the Ministry of Finance or Planning Commission or all the provincial ministries, they're wonderful colleagues. Our partnerships with them, whether it's with ministers at the federal or provincial level or with senior civil servants, by and large, that cooperation has remained very productive, generally excellent, despite all of this turmoil. One exception being Punjab, where, as you know, last year, the Punjab government said we don't want
any aid,
and then that got narrowed to 4 projects that we had working directly through the Punjab government. We still have a very large portfolio of programs in Punjab that aren't directly with the Punjab government.
And they are with
private universities
and groups, NGOs and
NGOs. We're renovating the Muzaffargarh power plant.
So what were you doing with the Punjab government before that has been curtailed?
So as I say, because of the political relationship, the Punjab government made a political decision, and we've had to respect that. And we've reprogrammed the funds from those 4 projects into other provinces very productively.
What were those projects? I mean, before the Punjab government made that political decision of not getting the USAID, what were those projects you were?
There were 4.
Yeah.
Basic education in southern Punjab, municipal services in southern Punjab. By municipal services, I mean rebuilding municipal water delivery systems or bridges or roads. Our third one was we were about to start the renovation of the Lady Willingdon Hospital in Lahore. And then the fourth one was a basic health care program.
What was the exposure? Any rough idea?
Pardon me?
What was the exposure of those 4 projects? Was the
By exposure, means the financial side?
Yeah, financial side.
Total planned funding was $250 million.
$250 million?
$250 million.
$250 million.
Over a 5-year period.
And they've turned it down?
Yes. So we've moved that to the other provinces.
This brings me to a very fundamental question. To most Pakistani viewers, USAID is something that comes to Pakistan only when Pakistan is needed for a military something. Something is happening in Afghanistan, something is happening in the region. They have to have a military-to-military relationship. To soften that, they bring an aid agency. And once the military relationship stagnates or is no more viable, like what happened in the 80s, if you look at the USAID record, there was a brilliant relationship between 82 and 86, 87, and then the relationship stagnated. So most Pakistanis is just a PR campaign. What would you tell them?
I'd say that's incorrect. USAID has been working with Pakistanis for over 50 years.
50 years.
And with that one exception, when our aid was stopped because of the Pressler Amendment, which had to do with...
which is 90s.
because of nuclear weapons. We've been here for the long haul, and our intention is to continue being here for many years to come. It's true that our relationship between our two countries has many dimensions, but the relationship that we have in terms of economic development, that what we do, is an important part of the overall relationship that both the United States believes is important to continue, and our Pakistani colleagues do as well.
And what is that you're doing principally at the moment?
We have 5 priorities: energy, economic growth, particularly agriculture, promoting stability in the border areas near Afghanistan, education, and health. And then we have 2 cross-cutting themes in those 5 areas, which are promoting good governance and promoting gender equity.
Why do you call them cross-cutting themes?
Because we try to integrate them into all of our programs. Good governance is important for any program. And we believe that promoting gender equity so that women have equal opportunities and rights. They're half the population of Pakistan. We believe they should be fully participating in the economy in the future.
One argument which I hear again and again, even from developmental professionals, is that instead of focusing on some of the signature projects like which you did in the past, like Darbela Dam or Mangla Dam, or putting up a huge amount of focus in, say, primary education in a certain area, you're trying to burn 1,000 candles, giving money to this NGO here, $10 million here, $20 million there, $30 million there, $50 million there. So you're reducing the overall impact rather than making something big. In a country which is starved for energy and water problems, you could have put up $1 billion into one hydroelectric project. You're not doing that.
No, we're not. Though we are focusing the program. When I got here, we were looking at 145 projects.
145 projects?
Either implementing or planned, and we're now down to about 60.
So why are you down to 60?
And we're reducing the number to focus on those 5 priority areas and implement well and achieve results. As you said, 1,000 points, it's harder to achieve results. It's harder to tell the story. It's harder to have strategic impact. But I disagree with you, or whoever is criticized making this criticism, that we should just do 1 or 2 big projects. Pakistan has a lot of priority needs, and depending on which part of the government you go to, or which community you go to, the needs vary. So for instance, we agree that energy is top priority. So it is our top priority in our assistance program. Over a quarter of our budget goes for energy. And those are big investments. We've funded the completion of the Golmazan Dam, Satpara Dam. We're renovating the Tarbela plant. We're renovating 3 thermal power plants in, as I mentioned, Muzaffargarh, but also Gudu and Jamshoro. And we have plans to do others. And we are very interested in supporting Daimur Basha, which would be a mega project.
You're supporting it to the tune of what, in terms of exposure?
Well, we haven't set a funding level yet, and it depends first on what agreements are reached between the Pakistani government and the lead donor, which is the Asian Development Bank. But we've agreed to chip in a major way if that happens.
I think I met someone from Rabta yesterday, and they thought that the World Bank is not coming forward for the Daimur Basha. The Asian Development Bank is coming, and USAID will actually be taking an interest in the whole thing. Is this the same thing you're referring to?
Yes.
But is this a new thinking then? Because in the last few years we've been hearing this, that you're shying away from the signature projects. We still want to do some big signature projects. Some of them we get more credit for and some less. Our single biggest project right now is building beautiful roads in the Fatah. We have completed in the last couple of years over 400 kilometers of roads in Fatah and in adjacent areas in KP. Just this past year, we've financed the construction of 215 kilometers of beautiful roads just in South Waziristan. That's a signature project. It's important for transforming the economy. We're already seeing businesses and hotels sprouting up along these roads in South Waziristan. We plan to finance the construction of another 200 kilometers of roads in North Waziristan. These cost hundreds of millions of dollars. So that's big.